I'm trying to see that new YouTube live thing. See how it works. But I'm gonna get back into the topic. Is the black manosphere dead? I say no. I was trying my best, man. I was really trying my best, to not get into these shenanigans, but let's go. When a lot of y'all look at, the black manosphere and the things that go on in the black manosphere, um, there's always these moments where something happens. Something happens that people go, oh, it might be over. Oh, this is it. Me personally, no. Too much has happened already. Things that are way bigger than certain situations. To me, if y'all actually believe the black manosphere is dead or whatever, I get what you're trying to say, because some people feel like, yo, it's maxed out. It's pretty much nowhere else to go, right? The the topics are basically being regurgitated. Here's the problem. If that's the case, then how come you watching people who are not in the black manosphere say the stuff that the black manosphere says? I'm just saying. Like, oh, y'all say the same thing all the time. Okay, so you got a bunch of different channels of different black men who are quote unquote not in the black manosphere, black women who are quote unquote not in the black manosphere, non-black people, who are not in the black manosphere, who are basically saying the parroting the content. You have no problem listening to them. You have no problem watching them. So when it's like, oh, you guys, you're doing too much, it's not true. This last little situation. With this last situation, it's kind of suspect. You got guys going in all kinds of different directions. Guys who are in support of the or what have or in support of the content creator. Guys who are like, nah, I ain't rocking with that. And this ain't the first time that's happened in this space. It's not the first time something happened in this space. Yeah, I know, fam. It's not the first time in this space that people have agreed with and disagreed with something at the same time. It's not that big of a deal. Personally, I get it though. I get it though. You know, there's always been blow-ups. Now, from the people who like, for some of you people who think, yo, the black manosphere is dead, is dying. The reason I use the Black Panther picture is because at the end of the movie, the second Black Panther, after the second little Marvel credit that they have at the end of the movies, it says, the Black Panther will return, right? So if y'all think this space is dead, it will return. And for a number of reasons. One, let's just say this space did die. Let's just for, you know, fun, this space died. Well, all of the other people that parrot this space, they would have to do something completely different. Because if this space dies, that means you don't want to hear that content from anybody else, right? Now, if that hypothetically were to happen and this space died and the people say, no, I'm gonna keep making this content, then that means it was a lie to begin with, right? So there are people who are, not in this space as content viewers or subscribers. It's like subscribers and sometimes just a fickle audience. People can say the same thing. Like 50 people can say the exact same thing. It's just, who do you feel like listening to? That's it. Who are you comfortable with listening to it? So when people go, oh, I'm tired of hearing the same thing, that's not true. What's up, Ron? That's not true. It's not that you're tired of hearing the same thing. You're tired of hearing the same thing from a certain purpose, from a certain person. Think Solo go say yes, whatever, Solo. But in my opinion, no. See, if this space would have died, that would have happened a long time ago. When this space was kind of formed and formulated, that would have happened. You know, when there was a hit list, when they created a hit list to destroy people who, before the Black Manosphere existed, you know, there was a hit list of people that these ladies wanted to YouTube to basically cancel before cancel culture started. You know what I'm saying? Hold up, fam. And what happened was, you know, some of those guys did their own thing, and some of those guys came and kind of united in this space. But everybody pretty much is bigger than they were after that. After that, I don't know what you. I forgot what that hit list. So, if it would have happened, it would have happened a long time ago. You know, me personally, no, it's not dead. You know, because in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, people will be talking about something else, and then it's gonna be like, oh, I forgot about that. So if we didn't, you know, drop off the face of the map from that hit list, which would have been the prime time to kill this space, and all the things that happen in this space and outside of this space, you know, didn't happen. You know what? Solo said the white girls coming to space. He be bringing the white girls, by the way, y'all. Solo is the Snow Bunny whisperer, so every white girl is kind of connected to Solo. So it's all his fault. It's all his fault. Just for the record, it's all his fault. You know. The other thing. I don't think there's been times that things happen in this space, and it has been blow ups in this space with people who actually make content in this space, and people thought, oh, it's over, kept going, you know, kept going. He said, I ain't bring her. That's all right. You gonna bring another. You gonna bring one. It don't matter, you know. And then on the flip side, there have been people who are not in this space. You get what I'm saying? Who, for some odd reason, tied to this space. Do you remember what was it? A couple of months ago, they had the guy shooting up the subway in New York, and somehow he was tied to the Black Manosphere. You know, this is, you know, it's dead, bro. Okay. You know, this space gets it gets a lot of bad PR, bad publicity. And a lot of times it's not from people in this space. Like if you're black on YouTube and you really F up, all you gotta do is make red pill quote unquote content and then blame us. You don't even have to blame us. We're gonna get the blame anyways. You get what I'm saying? So if this, like, think about it in my silly way. If this space is dead, then who you gonna have to blame? Seriously. Who? Oh, these dudes are this, that, and the third. Not really. Not really. You know, this space was dead before Kevin blew up. This space was, you know, then he blew up. Where you gonna go? Remember, and I'm gonna say this in this way. When Kevin passed away, you know, rest his soul, it wasn't really people in the Black Manosphere trying to replace Kevin. It was people outside of the Black Manosphere who thought it was an easy come up. You know, oh, it's lit now. I'm gonna put on my dress clothes now. I'm gonna put on some glasses. I'm gonna strike a pose in the camera. It's like, cut it out, dog. You know, I feel you on that, there, brother. You know, same thing happened. Less than a month ago. Was the space dead because of the passport bros thing? You know, that was right before this. You know, no, oh man, it's dead, bro. It's dead, bro. Really? I'm smiling because I'm about to start acting. I'm about to start unacting like L.A.R. because it's not a character. It's just me being chill. But you about to get the person that everybody be shaking their head at, like, oh Lord, he off the chain today. Let's just be honest, man. A lot of time, the reason why people think this space is wants people who want this space to die is usually because you're a coward. That's all it is. Like, a lot of y'all are just cowards, and this space actually gives you the content you need in life, but you don't necessarily want to know it's associated with this space, or you don't want your family and friends to know it's associated with this space. So people who want this space, quote unquote, dead, appreciate it, man. You know, people who want this quote unquote space dead are just people who, guys who sit, well, I can say guys, girls, don't matter. People who are sitting at home and this, I think like this, but I don't want my family to know. Like, being in this space, being in the black manosphere in the black community is kind of like being a Republican in the black community. You know, that's what like, you don't want to let the family know that you're a Republican and a conservative. Yeah, if they find out it's over, I never get grandma's mac and cheese again. It's like, but this space is dead. No, you just scared. Like, here's the thing about the Pearly thing, right? Here's the thing about the Pearly thing. She's okay. Even forget the race part. She's saying the same thing we've been saying for years. The difference is, for the black people who over there, you needed to hear it from a white woman saying it. You needed to hear it from a white woman with some black folks in the UK saying it. That's it. If you got your heart broke because, the black manosphere was too toxic for you and you needed her to say it, because it's black women in the black manosphere and outside of the black manosphere, they say the same thing and they get a lot of views and numbers, as this space per se. So if they have a blow up or falling out, you going to stop watching them? I doubt it. But who you going to blame? The black manosphere. It's y'all fault. It's y'all fault, brother. It's y'all fault. Y'all shouldn't have let the women in. Well, you it's the black manosphere. You shouldn't have let the women in. It's funny for some of y'all to say that when y'all watching these women's channels. Y'all like it when these women on these panels. Y'all shouldn't let the women in. Ooh, she fine. I'm gonna tune in for this episode. She kind of thick. So, it is what it is. You want the space to die, but you want the space to live. I look at the black manosphere sometimes, and like, as Paul Mooney would talk about, Paul Mooney would talk about black people and people who are imitating black people. Everybody want to be a nigga, don't nobody want to be a nigga. That's what the black manosphere is. Y'all, everybody want to be black manosphere, but don't nobody want to be black manosphere. It's just like, okay, you got people in the space. I'm done. Then next week I'm back. You get frustrated in this space, So people who are on that, the space it's not gonna make it. Through what? Like it's not gonna make it because you said so? Okay, well, here's the thing. If it's not gonna make it, you're gonna stop watching, right? Because I am subscribed to a lot of people in this space, and I can see by their subscribers and their views, them views and them subscribers ain't going nowhere. So I don't know how it's dead. I don't see it. I'm just gonna live in reality. Now you got people who wish it would die. Of course, you got people, I need them to go. I need them to go. And even, like I said before, even if guys in this space even if myself and the 90% of the black men who are in the black manosphere stop making this content, you would all of a sudden want to hear it. It'll be, brother, where the brothers at? Where the black manosphere? I can't believe it's gone. I can't believe it. We seen that, like, y'all forget, like, we saw how people responded to David Carroll pass. And he was doing his stuff in a sense, hitting on the low. You had to, send how you say, send me the link, I'll send you the show, basically. When Kevin passed, man, I can't believe he gone. Y'all still watching, y'all going back and watching him. Y'all watching clips, y'all watching shorts, y'all got people bootlegging this stuff on YouTube, and you watching their stuff. So we see how this is going. Is it dead? No, no, no. We just in a, just in a situation. But that happens. Not the first time, not the second time, not the 10th time, not the 20th time. It's not. This space has weathered way worse. Sorry to tell it to you. And sometimes the thing about it is, some people don't want it to quote unquote grow, quote unquote prosper or whatever. That's another reason why people actually want the space to die, because the Black Manosphere itself and the economy that it's built outside of the Black Manosphere for other content creators, they would love to just because for the most part, a lot of folks listen to, I would say, let's just say the Black Manosphere got about 30 people. I would say you really got 10 people that people frequently watch in high volumes, So, and those people names, you got your O'Shea, now you got Anger Man, you got Crimson Cure, you got Book of Alpharonomy, you got Black Ram. You get what I'm saying? My question is, why has someone? Yeah, I don't get that either, fam. I think his family's probably gonna get on that though. You got Steph is Cold, you know, and mediocre tutorial review really. But just like some of those people that I just mentioned, some of them like I ain't in the space no more because of people hating on them in this space, right? So the space, even with them saying I'm bowing out because it's too much, because y'all hating too much, the space has still been impactful. It still kept moving. It still kept pushing forward, And even those people that kind of wash their hands for a time being or whatever, they still make the same content. They just said, look, man, I'm out your hair. You ain't got to diss me no more. I'm out of the way, go have at it. But they're still making the same exact content. It's nothing different, Take that for the most part. I say for the most part. So that's another issue. Now, the other thing that comes along is this. There are people who want to kill the space. Definitely. Definitely. What's happening, fam? There are definitely people who want to kill the space. Because, for one, this space has been too highly impactful on Black men's voice. Not just in a relationship dynamic, but that was predominantly what people talk about it. This space has been so ahead of the curve. This space has made, even using the dynamic with the relationships, this space has made feminists and I'm sorry, fam. I looked at the name and I just flustered. What's happening? This space has made the academic side and the regular side of feminism kind of look sideways. They've given us too much evidence for us to put out to say, told you this was messed up. This space has predicted, and this is a shout out to BGS because he's at the forefront of the predictions about life, and what's going on in society, in world and global politics as a whole. That's really where he's the foundation of that. With that, didn't necessarily predict COVID, but predicted that something like COVID would happen before it happened. Talked about AI in this space. Yeah, 3 to 6 months. People looking for something. Appreciate it. Exactly, Sloan. So this space has created that. Nah, Shannon. That's my answer is no, fam. No, sir. So now you got to get that out of the way. Because a lot of y'all don't realize, even with the ladies, they're feminist women who wanted to kill a space. The divestors wanted to kill a space. He said at least it's entertaining. That's the crazy part about it. I got a video about that coming on in a few days about how this is like WWE wrestling. Everybody needs a heel. But this is the problem. The people who want to kill it, They want to kill it because society is going, you know, in a downward spiral. And one of the biggest things that the Black Manosphere has done is actually brought facts to the table. You know, it's brought facts to the table, and the facts are you can't blame black men for everything. For everything that people blame black men for, we had to brothers put in this space put the facts out on it. So it makes people look really ridiculous now, and the people who want to kill this space want to go back to the narrative. That's what this is about, a narrative. You know, as long as black men get a bad narrative, we could be blamed for everybody else's BS. So when I see stuff like this, it's like, whatever, you know, because we got factions within this space. We got your Republican factions, we got your Democrat factions, and those two clash for them. You know, you got the guys that are, how can I say this, red pill, and you got the guys that are purple and blue pill. You know, not so much blue. I would say not so much blue. We look at people blue sideways, but purple, it's like, you know, we got people who are in the space when it's convenient. You know, when it's convenient to be in the space, they in the space. And then when something like this happens, and that's how you find out when people are really in or not in this space, because they like on the fence. Because when stuff happens, then they turn around, aha, you see, I told you it was like this. You know, it's really not. And it's like, shut up. Shut up. You know, and then when the space start cooking and having momentum, the same person pops up. Yeah, and as a brother who's been in the space for a century, you know, what's up, game changer? I've been here. And it's like, shut up. You know, that's what goes on. And then we got to talk about it. You know, we tried to tell them about that, Ray, about AI. And people will say, the Black Manosphere never talked about AI. Yeah, we did. Oh, yeah, we did. That was a big thing for a good minute. You know, that was tied into the red pill content. So, you know, these people who want to do it, appreciate it, Charles. You know, the people who want to say things and do things is like, okay, we're going to, you know, if you want to kill it, fine. But even the people who want to kill it, let me just say this. The Black Manosphere is Julius Caesar. And people who got an issue with the Black Manosphere Brutus, but you really don't want this space to die. You get what I'm saying? Angel, I remember Angel Ramirez. Is it Angel Ramirez? But he wasn't in this space. He was just, you know, adjacent to, in a sense. You threw me off on that. But these people who kind of make, they like, if they don't want to kill this space, they want to hurt it. You know, because two things are involved in that. One is if they could kill this space, they wouldn't have nothing to talk about at all. Because a lot of the people who they have people, there's an economy on YouTube of people who parrot the space, and there's an economy on YouTube of people who are anti this space. So both need the content need this space's content to have content. So, you know, if it died, some of those people's livelihoods would die with it. But the other thing that's more important, you know, who? Okay, the woman ball player, got you. The other thing that I would say is more important than people trying to kill it for that reason or whatever. And I'm trying to find a nice way to do this one. If this space, I hate to say it this way, if this space were dead, y'all wouldn't be entertained. Real talk. Because even the people who need an antithesis to this space, it's not really entertaining unless this space has something. Because here's the thing. This space has basically created so much content that's been impactful in the world. You see it in television. You see it in talk shows. People are making songs. You know, people, people are doing Manosphere S talking point, storm in here, a little bit here, a little bit there. The reason I'm saying it is, even, you remember when Kevin was alive and Kevin used to talk about how men and celebrities will walk up to him and be like, yo, what's up? I like your stuff you're doing. I like this. I like that. I like this. I like that. And information don't beat personalities, fam. Not. It should, but it don't. But a lot of those people that like Kevin, they liked them in the dark. They didn't like, hey man, I rock with you. I rock with you. It was like underground. Here's the problem. And whether people talk about this part or not, I don't know. This space actually fuels a lot of female content in the sense of what the black manosphere is. Think about it. Black men on YouTube talking about this stuff. What's up, Kevin? The black men in this space are basically underground. Like he brought up the rap comment. But black women are on Fox, Lifetime, TLC, and, Bravo, and, they getting shows, they go on the networks. And you got to think about it like, wait a minute. These shows ain't never brought these guys from the black manosphere up, but they brought everybody else up who's the antithesis to the black manosphere. So when people think about, not necessarily just entertainment, but media, you don't think about all of the times that this content is suppressed while the response is public. The response could be on the Breakfast Club. Do y'all remember when DJ Envy was dissing Kevin and didn't even know him? You get what I'm saying? That's how it goes. And fast forward now, when Iyanla Van Zant was on the Breakfast Club, Charlamagne sounded like he was in the black manosphere. You see, so people poach this space heavily, but it's needed. We basically brought the barbershop talk online, and some people who were like, ooh, you're saying what I don't want to say. Brothers have lost their jobs behind this space. You get what I'm saying? And for some of those brothers have actually looked out for them. Other brothers, y'all ain't look out for them. You get what I'm saying? So that's a issue in itself. That's a whole other thing with YouTube. There's doing the Lord's work. There's a whole nother, like, the white manosphere and the black manosphere are really separate. There's some black guys in the white manosphere, but we're pretty much separate. For all you guys who watch them guys, a lot of that stuff that they've got, some of that's their stuff for real, and a lot of that stuff is really black male experience. Because white guys are basically starting to feel oppressed and like black men. And, we're the tip of the spear. We're the canary in the coal mine. You know what I'm saying? So we don't necessarily get the credit, but but the impact is really from here. So when people think it's dead to who? Like, I remember when Nas made hip hop is dead. And then it's like, these guys is trash. But you still had people making great material. Hip hop died because you don't have as many great artists as you do. But now you basically got Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake holding it down until somebody else come, basically. I'm still a fan of Jay Electronica, but he only did one album. Big Crit is still around, you know what I'm saying? Like Big Crit. But for the most part, everybody y'all like really ain't that good. You know what I'm saying? They're really not that good, But, that's the whole nother thing. So when people go, this space is dead. No, really what it is people don't want to hear this, but this space, I personally don't think this, if this space would die, it'll probably have to die in another 30 years. And the reason why I say that, y'all don't realize how many kids in high school listen to this space. Like the grown men who I say are being cowardly and because they don't want it, their family doesn't know. But they're kids, they're teenagers whose families sometimes put them onto this stuff, and sometimes they come there here themselves and they're learning about what goes on. I talked about this in the video. Like y'all ain't see the video yet, but you'll see it. Where when it comes to what's going on in Black America, even the relationship between men and women, you know, high school women, high school girls, and grown women pretty much practice the same type of dating strategy. So these young boys are like, oh, okay, you put me up on game now. That's what's going on. So even though you say, oh, the space is dead, these kids in high school, these kids in college, they're not moving like this space is dead. They're not. They're moving like, okay, I see what it is. So people got to take that into consideration. The other thing, when I look at across the totality of the Black Manosphere and the time it's been together, this space has gotten so many things right that it's ridiculous. Like if we had a batting average, we'll be the greatest of all time and there'll never be another. We'll be the Floyd Mayweather of baseball, right? You know, yeah, thank you. Pastors are using the talking points. You know, appreciate it. Ain't no appreciate that, fam. So, you know, it gets to the point now where we've been right too much. Think about it. Yeah, people maybe just coming into this in the last few years. They don't realize there was years that with the gender war, with this particular space did, the Black Manosphere, and you could say predominantly 2.0, we made it interactive with women to figure out the talking points and to debunk them. So a lot of times, even when you see guys, men and women on panels, and you don't necessarily see Black men in the Black Manosphere on panels like that with women, because we already did it. But the formula does work. That's why it works so well for everybody else. It's already been done. So a lot of times we've got too much right. Like we won the quote unquote gender war years ago because we were just so far ahead of the women being right. To the point that even some of the content creators that y'all know that are females, they don't come over here like that no more. Not because they were all invited, but they didn't sound too bright. You know, it was like, So, and when you think about other groups, when they put stuff on Black men or this, that, and the third, I don't care if it's the Cynthia G's, I don't care if it's the divestors, I don't care, you know, if it's the male feminists. When you listen to their rhetoric, they're not right a lot. Yeah. They're not right a lot. They're wrong way more than they're right. And that's the problem. So sometimes people got to come to this space and sharpen up their actual reality. So that's another reason why this space is not going to die. Because the delusion is real. Delusion is very prevalent. And sometimes people got to be broken out of it. How can I do this? Case in point. There are people who are anti-Black Manosphere in their content. And then there's Black Manosphere content. If you were to spend a week time, or just a week, just a couple of days, and you look at their videos and their titles, and you look at this space's videos and their titles, and I mean, you can go one for one. You ain't got to, you know, make it like, you know, you listen to 30 people in the Black Manosphere and 3 people. No. Just make it one for one. You know, one guy, you know, one Black Manosphere guy or woman, and one of these anti-Black Manosphere men or women. And I guarantee you, we're going to have more realistic stories that happen in real life that prove our point than they do. That's why this whole little situation that's happening right now, for me, it's like, oh, it will pass. You know, tell him, fam. Tell him, fam. So it'll pass. Is it because the news stories keep piling up. See, we don't like, and here's one thing. I'm not really a hater. Everybody, if you could be successful, go for it. You know, I listen to Pink Book Lessons. Dope channel. She's dope. Just in my opinion, she's dope. She has nothing but news stories, but it has like a red pill spiel to it. And she got story after story after story after story. She's not even in the space, but like O'Shea does it over and over and over again, whether it be celebrity junk or this, that, and the third. Angry Man talks. He brings content in back to back to back to back to back. You get what I'm saying? Mr. Palmer, who's not really in the space, shout out to him. No, he's a dope dude. Stories he come out with back to back to back to back to back. You can listen to Book Alpharonomy. All these people are using actual real life scenarios, whether it be with celebrities or regular people. When it comes to people who are anti-black men, their stories are few and far between. Because we're not talking about criminals per se. We're talking about people who aren't viewed as criminals over and over and over and over again. It's like, man, how is this happening? How is that happening? Because this space, this is what it is. And truth be told, a lot of, they do sound like horror movies. They do sound like, yeah, they do sound like horror movies, And a lot of times people don't want to hear it, but it's the reality. It's to the point that, think about it. I'm being presumptuous when I say this. But now you can get on YouTube and actually watch family court proceedings. Think about that. Why is there a market for that? Because of how people were saying how unfair the family court system was. Now even the courts got YouTube pages that you can see what's really going on in these courts and how people are getting down. You have fraternity shows and fake fraternity shows that are really like putting this stuff out on blast. Now the fraternity shows was here before Black Manosphere existed. I'm not gonna play that game and lie. But as you see now, you see more and more of, yeah, these dudes are right. Yeah, this is really going on. Yeah, I gotta admit. Yeah. So no, the space can't die. Sorry. If you want the space to die, and even though, for some of y'all don't know, there was technically a Black Manosphere. We call it the Black Manosphere 1.0. There was a collection of guys before the collection that some of y'all know. The Sergeant Willie Pete's, the Soul Blacks, the Thug Titians, Captain Solo. Is it Captain Solo. Calypso, Don Calypso. I remember it was a guy named Pink Elephant at the time. On the quote unquote white side, it was like Barbarossa, who they found out was mixed and he was black, and then they tried to turn on him, but whatever. And then after that you had Tommy Sotomayor. Like, he was his own juggernaut in itself. You got big thank you, Big B Kelly, thank you. So when that happened first. A lot of those guys they created a website called Gen X, Generation X. It's defunct now, but they took it from YouTube to Gen X or whatever. So that happened. And then Tommy came. And then this space came. Mayor Blacktown, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. It was a lot of guys that y'all don't know of sometimes. And y'all don't realize a collective of brothers came to these points previously. You get what I'm saying? Because I was a subscriber to most of those guys. And I was probably making video back then too, but not really. It was collage, everything like it is now. But a lot of y'all don't realize that That happened. It stopped. You know, Tommy came, blew up. He's his own juggernaut on his own. And then the Black Manosphere came. You know, I don't think Pink Elephant was a Nigerian dude. It's not. This was he didn't have an accent. It might be another person, because because it was always black screen with a pink elephant, but I didn't hear no accent with this guy. You know, but who knows? He could have not had a, you know, whatever. You know, appreciate it. You know, people don't know those names. But what winds up happening at the end of the day is, even that space, it moved on, it transcended, and the space that y'all know now came to be, right? So we've seen up and down, up and down, up and down. Oh, he was Nigerian? Okay. I did not know. I did not know. You know, don't say I'm the last of a dying breed. That mean I'm dying, player. I'm dying. Y'all, you gonna make me drink, man. You know, I'm gonna act soft like people nowadays. I got anxiety. You know, but those people really didn't. The message that they started, we took the baton and we ran with. So right now, the people in the 2.0 or whatever, in my honest opinion, what's really going on that bothers people is the difference between that first generation. You know, Tommy got paid, and this generation of the 2.0 folks, and you know, and even the interlopers and the people who are adjacent, when the money came into play, all of the, not even necessarily competition, but all of the I want it to be over for you came. Because basically people want other people's channels to fold so they can gain their subscribers. So of course, when people want other people to fail and people's channels to die and the quote unquote black manosphere to die, because people are they're view counting, they're pocket watching. You get what I'm saying? Not just view counting and pocket watching, but it's also impact watching. So because a lot of people outside of the black manosphere want the black manosphere to die in particular, so they can act like that they came up with this stuff. So now they can just ride off into the sunset and act like they don't know. Because it's a lot of people doing sucker stuff. You know, it's a lot of people doing sucker stuff in hopes to get a dollar. So, yeah, you know, yeah, I want the space to die so I can say, you know, people wish. Like, let me say this. So I'm gonna use people. If O'Shea was to say, I'm not making YouTube videos no more, I promise you, the celebrity junk, it'll be somebody with the celebrity stuff. You know what I'm saying? It'll be the celebrity stuff. You know, Angry Man will say, "Oh man, I'm done with the space. I ain't making video." Angry Man will be gone. It'll be some dude named, you know, Agitated Man. It's like, who is this guy? I've been in here the whole time. You know, if BGS said I'm through, y'all, it'd be a dude named GBS. You know, GBS. You know, yeah, I've been in this the whole time. That's all that is. Real talk. That's all that is. You know, if Obsidian was like, I'm done, it'd be another dude, you know, Onyx, you know, Mumia Onyx. He'd be like, oh, okay, all right, I see what's going on. And they'll just ride on like, well, I've been saying this for years. I just showed up. Now, I'm using this as a reference for, if any of y'all, you know, football fans, you know the XFL is back, right? So the XFL first came back. It straight be doppelgangers, legends. When the XFL first came back, it came back and then COVID hit. So they didn't even finish. They got about 6 games into the season. I went to the very first game of the new XFL. It was because Houston is the Rough Riders. Is it Rough Riders? Something like that. Roughnecks. Something like that. Houston Roughnecks. Roughnecks. And I forgot who the team they was playing. I think it was the Dragons or something. You know what happened? The guy that was the announcer was sitting there. the guy was sitting at the announcer like, yeah, and the league has been going on, and we have these players. Da, 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 da. He was acting like it was a brand new league that's been around for 20 years. It was dope because he was trying to be professional. Like, yeah, we're gonna start and act like we've been running this thing. That's what people will do. They'll jump in there, you know, and go, hey, yeah, I've been here, you know. So a lot of the time, that's what this is about. You know, don't get it twisted. You know, has a problem, right? And that's the thing. Like everyone can't speak for this space. This space got like people know the names of the people in this space. We got a freaking list that's put out all the time. It's just like people don't want to. And I hate to say this. I think people outside of this space who view this space could say this space is dead because they don't pay attention. You know, because what happens with this space a lot of times is we'll do something right in your face, but you won't pay attention. And you're like, huh? I didn't know that existed. I mean, true story. This is what I mean. This space is Floyd Mayweather. Bear with me. Here, I'm going somewhere. I used to have a boxing podcast called Cheap Seats Boxing Show. It used to be on Apple, Spotify, all that stuff. Apple, iTunes, all that stuff, right? And me and my coworker, co-host, because we work together too. We had this talk about Floyd Mayweather. I forgot who he was fighting at the time, and I was telling him, I said, listen, man, the interesting thing about Floyd Mayweather is because he's black, he puts it right in your face what he's gonna do and how he's gonna do it. But because he's black, you don't pay attention. You know? Oh yeah. Don't sweat it. Boxing got soft because these people didn't want to fight, so we kind of just scrapped it because like they doing sucker stuff now. It got annoying to keep making content, but what happened was I was telling him, I said, Floyd puts it right in your face, but he's black, so you don't pay attention. He's like, what you mean? I said, listen. The people who fight Floyd go, I want to shut him up. I want to humble him. I want to destroy him. You know, he's feeling himself too much. And I said, look at him. Look at him every time he's in 24/7 or all access. Look at him. He's like, what do you mean? He's driving a car in workout clothes. He's talking to the people in workout clothes. He's doing stuff at the gym in workout clothes. He's going out on a night run or a night ball game in workout clothes. And he keeps telling you hard work, dedication. You know, hard work, dedication. He's putting the hard work right in front of you, but you ain't paying attention. While you trying to humble him, he's just outworking you. But you ain't see that. He's wearing a chain. And he take off the chain because it's still in workout clothes. And that's what the Black Manosphere is. We put the information out in front of you, but you're not really paying attention. Like we say, oh, this is who's in the space, this is the material, this is the content, these are the thumbnails, these are the subject, but you see it, but then you go, you know what? If a black woman said it, I could hear it better. You know what? If a white guy said it, I could hear it better. You know what? If a white woman said it, I could hear it better. You know what? If a black dude that said, I don't really rock with them dudes like that, say it, I could hear it better. So it's the same thing. It's very much so the same thing. And the one thing about it that, you know, truth be told, this space is not full of haters. But Dante, I'm gonna give you the God's honest truth, right? I'll tell y'all something. Yeah, it ain't that many of y'all in here, so it don't really matter. You know what I am in this space? I'm the barometer for what people want. I could be far more entertaining if I wanted to. I could do this. If I did the same thing that you consider circular, the same argument over and over and over and over and over again, my channel will grow because that's what people want to listen to. I'm kind of like the barometer for the people who actually are content creators to go, don't even spread it out because that's not what they're not going to listen to that. And even some of your favorite content creators in this space, all the way up, you have known me for years. And they've taken some of the content, and I'm like, go for it, take it, Because it was always a barometer. I might say something and it might get 300 views. They might say something and it might get 300,000 views. It's the same thing. But we have this understanding that, let's see what works. Because maybe they don't just they ain't hearing it from you because they ain't feeling you like that. You ain't putting too much sauce on it. Well, go for it. See what you do with it. Boom. Goes. So, people know the topics. People know the topics. BGS should be way bigger than he is. He's the guru of overarching material that streams from relationships to politics. He is the gold standard in my opinion. But that's not what people gravitate to until stuff really hits the fan. Shout out to Solo TV 84. Solo was trying to tell y'all about cryptocurrency for years. Some of y'all thought it was but Solo's have shown guys millionaires who were actually in crypto. People thought he was crazy, and then the same people that thought he was crazy and full of it was calling him, "Hey, dog, what you say that was again?" Solo done made a lot of people money, but that's not what brothers want to hear. But he not gonna stop his mission though. And when he up for real, y'all gonna turn around like, "Oh, yo, brother, my brother." So the space has always had extra stuff. It's just that's not what people wanted, So that's just what it is. You can't knock it. I mean, because some of this stuff, I'll say this: the relationship stuff, a lot of young men need it. The life stuff, a lot of older men need it, but the problem, a lot of grown men need it. But the problem is, the stuff that we were saying the Black Manosphere that helps you in life. I think there are too many people afraid to actually go down that path and at least give it a shot, because it's a risk. It's a risk, and some people ain't got the money. It's the Black Manosphere. We doing things on a discount for y'all. Just the Groupon. Unfortunately, we get done bad like that. We're the Groupon space of YouTube because, other people have the money to support other people, and they do it heavily, but we don't. But even I can't even necessarily say that, because even the black guys who do all kinds of fluff and shenanigans and goofy stuff and pranks, people support them heavily because they want to see that. And it's like, I don't get it, but it is what it is. So the repetitive rhetoric, it's gonna always be here. And it ain't no disrespect, but Fresh and Fit do repetitive rhetoric, and they up. They are up. They are winning from doing repetitive rhetoric. And guess what? People gonna keep tuning in for the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So, is the space there? No. A lot of times it's entertainment now. You're giving the people what they want. And people want to believe that, it's over for this space, but it's not. It's not. But at the end of the day, man, I'm gonna get myself up out of here, man. Long live y'all lives, man. Enjoy yourselves, take care of yourself, take care of your family. I got all religious on the end, didn't I? But like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.